Spent most of my life in foster care. When I was born, my mother was freebasing crack cocaine. She was a drug addict most of my life, dealt with a lot of that struggle. She was in and out of psych wards. My father was abusive. He was very angry. He took to a lot of yelling and hitting growing up as children. And we were in fear for most of our childhood. I started developing really debilitating anxiety at a very young age. I came home from school and told my father that I made the basketball team, and I thought he'd be proud. I said, "Dad, I need a pair of sneakers," and he said, "No, you need a job," which meant if you need sneakers, you need to pay for them. From that point on, I decided that I'd work. I started working at age 15. I've worked literally my hands to blood. One of the interactions I had was with Michael Peace. He came to our neighborhood. He picked us up in the Bethel Express. I do credit him in some ways for, I think he saved my life. I have this intuition that he saved my life. I know that he and Bethel had really introduced me to Christ more than any other time in my life. And there was one story in particular where my father was out of town. My mom was going through a bender, I guess is the best way to explain it. She, I think at that time was using heroin. As the bus was driving by our house, one of her friends was throwing our clothes out the second story window. He was stealing. When I came home, I didn't have any winter clothes. But she was not above selling our stuff, that's for sure. I just always thought from my standpoint, from my point of view, I thought I'm gonna die one day and I don't know where I'm going or what's gonna happen, but while I'm on this earth, I'm gonna do what Jason wants to do, and I didn't care about anybody else. I might have thought I did, and I might have made sacrifices that looked sacrificial, if you will. It looked like sacrifices from the outside looking in, but there was always a motive. There was always something on why I was doing it. So the selfishness really had to die, the self-centeredness, thinking that I was the center of the universe. I almost lost everything. So I was consistently abusing alcohol and drugs. I wasn't faithful to my wife, and I'd hit a low point, and I decided that I was just going to disappear. And I took 3 days, and I disappeared. All 3 days I was abusing drugs, and I came home with an excuse. My wife was upset, but she welcomed me back. It didn't take another week for me to disappear again for 3 days. Again, drugs and alcohol. And I think that my wife did the best thing that anybody's ever did for me, has ever done for me. She went to our pastors, and Pastor Dave and Pastor Ron came knocking at my door one day.